Good morning, um, good afternoon, good evening. We want to welcome each and every one of you to SKTV. Welcome to the show. Um, welcome, and welcome. Help us share the show, please. If you can, we want to talk about a lot of things that are going on in our country. Welcome to the show. Very interesting things are happening. So we want to welcome you to today's edition. Welcome to the show. Welcome and welcome. Will anything change in Liberia? Um, this is the $1 million question that we are asking today. Will anything change in Liberia, given the circumstances we're faced with, the actors we're faced with? But we want to welcome each and every one of you today to SKTV. Help us share the show. Um, welcome to the show. Today is May 5th, 2022. We'd like to start the show off by wishing all of the women around the world a happy Mother's Day. Um, Happy Mother's Day in advance to all of you. Some of you are already celebrating. Some of you are planning on celebrating the Mother's Day. We still want to wish you happy Mother's Day. Let's share the show. Let's invite someone to the show here this afternoon. Will anything change in Liberia? That is the question for the day. Let's share the show, ladies and gentlemen. Invite someone, welcome someone, um, tell someone what's going on here on the SKTV today so that we can have this conversation. Um, we want to welcome you to this edition. We will be brief today as possible, short and brief as possible. Short and brief as possible today. Let's welcome someone to the show. Today, we intend to cover certain things. We intend to have certain conversations. So we want to welcome all of you. Thank you for being here with us today. We want to reference the Liberian people as the most important people on earth. We do. We do. We want to we want to reference the Liberian women as the most beautiful women on earth. Help us share the show as we prepare to get into this conversation. Today is promised to be very, very interesting, as always, in our conversation. Let's invite someone. Let's talk to someone about what's going on here on SKTV. Welcome to the show. Welcome, and welcome. Let's share the show as we get prepared to get into the conversation. Let's share the show, please. A lot of things to talk about. In other news, we will be talking about some things here today. Very interesting stuff going on in our country. and I would say around the world at large. Um, in the same token, would like to wish Miss Telvi a happy belated birthday. Yesterday was her birthday. Um, she has said to me that she had some good time yesterday. So I believe her. I believe her. I believe she had some good time yesterday. Today we are here. We might not be yelling, shouting, but let's share the show. We still have some important things to talk about. Very, very important. Let's talk about them. Happy belated birthday to Telvi. Um, I'm sure at some point, if she leaves the birthday, she would join us. Telvi would join us at some point when she leaves that birthday celebration. I know she's chilling, but we want to welcome all of you to the show. On Monday, we could not air because we were involved in an accident over the weekend, but we are grateful to God to be alive. But let's share the show. I know some people might not still be getting the notification. I'm not sure how Siku and the technical team, how far they've gone with this, but I believe they are working on it. So let's share the show in the meantime. Let's invite someone. Let's welcome someone. And let's get this done. Let's have this conversation. A lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. We'll dive or deep a little bit into um, the new appointee from George Weah to the airport, Darlington Conley. We'll talk about him very briefly and his appointment. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it very briefly. One of my friends has been doing some very good research on him, and she has been communicating some of her findings, which I found very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. And when we get into the conversation, I would give her credit here because it's important. She took me by surprise and by shock. But let's share the show before we get to the musical break here really quick. Like I said, today we probably wouldn't be going our regular hours. We just thought to come on to throw light or have one or two of these conversations. We really thought to do that. We thought it was important that we do that. So that's why we are here. So let's get into this conversation. It's very important that we get into this conversation. Let's get into the conversation really, 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 really quick. Very, very important that we get into this conversation. Sorry, I'm looking at while I'm getting ready to get into other news here, I'm looking at my conversation here. Um, I haven't even, we haven't even gotten started yet. I am looking at some conversations here while we are waiting to get started. Let me bring you in other news today from the Supreme Court. You will recall that, and we'll talk about this when we get to the other segment, but you will recall that the Unity Party took an appeal, or indirectly took the next decision to stop the process of feeding a Unity Party's candidate into the upcoming by-election in Lofa. The Unity Party went to the Supreme Court. So it was at the Supreme Court today. It was. But interestingly, um, we got some of the transcripts, let me not use the word some. We got the transcripts from what happened in the Supreme Court today. We got some of the questions, some of the Unity Party response, and some of the things that are going on. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting from this transcript. Let me read something to you from the transcript. Let me read something to you that I found very interesting. Just a teaser. Let me read something to you here. Before we go to the musical break, share the show, and then we come back and get into our conversation. Like I said, we probably wouldn't be long today here. But there was a need to do this, at least, to have some form of conversation here today about what's going on. So I'm trying to be as careful as I can as to not reveal any source or say certain things that will implicate someone. But obviously, so for example, there was a question asked. There was a question asked in there, and listen to this question. How do you know that the said framework document filed with the NEC is altered? When you are claiming, that's the question. When you're claiming that you did not receive a copy of the final framework document, listen to this question. This was the question that went to Unity Party. The Unity Party's lawyer, the people that are making the case. Listen to the question again. How do you know that the said framework document filed with the NEC is altered when you are claiming that you did not receive a copy of the final framework document? Now, here is Unity Party's lawyers respond to that question. Listen to his response. Councillor Momo, this is what he responded. Mo Ali and others conducted an investigation, and the investigation found that the framework document wanting. So his answer to that question was because Mo Ali and others conducted an investigation. Very, very interesting things happened today in the court. Very interesting thing happened today in the court. But then they push Councillor Momo a little more. Listen to the push that they gave Councillor Momo. Listen to it. And when we get back, I will read this again just for clarity and context sake. Listen to this. What and who validated the so-called investigative report anchored on the CPP framework document? Listen to Councillor Momo's response. No, Councillor Smo. Councillor Smo answered. The report was sent to the lawyers. Quote. And the court asking, and what did the lawyer say? Councillor Smo. They didn't say anything substantial. I swear it. I don't want to laugh. I don't want to laugh too hard. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Let's go to the musical break when we come back. We'll talk a little bit about this before we move forward with our conversation for today. Like I said, today we might not have a full regular day. We're grateful to God to be alive. We were involved in a car accident on Sunday, on the weekend. But this is very interesting. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. This is in other news. The guy there. I swear it like that, balance. Let's get no copyright to the song. Let's share the show, please. Help us to share the show. We'll come back, we'll get into this conversation. We will no copyright to these songs.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. Betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not the I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach in DNA unique, they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us a little and abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie.
Well, they lied to us. Welcome back to each and every one of you. Just before we left you, let's recognize one or two people really quick. Let's show you some respect here. Thank you for staying and sticking with us. Let's show you some respect. Let's get to, you really quick and recognize you, and we get into the conversation here. Again, a lot to talk about. We'll get into one or two things here really quick, and try to call it a day. We're just testing if we're doing okay today. So, Con Quesofiso Dante, welcome to the show. We're wondering if anything will ever change in Liberia. Rosalind Dix, welcome to the show. Elizabeth Bywan, welcome to the show. Let me be careful with this name before I butcher it. Ayomi Posi, welcome to the show. Lincoln Colley, welcome to the show. Tower, welcome to the show. Ruth Bodwell, welcome to the show. Miata Stella, welcome to the show. I don't know if that Beverly Padgy was here. See, I'm getting in trouble now. I'm getting in trouble. You got to deal with me. Sunshine, What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Roof. What's up? I hope you're getting a notification now. This thing, Siku and the technicians are still working on it, so we're told I could take a couple of days or weeks or whatever, but we're still figuring it out. Abraham, Holly, welcome to the show. Alice, Siako, welcome to the show. Abraham, Bob, Toba, welcome to the show. Princess Salif, welcome to the show, Princess. Elena Flomo, where you been? He said been laughing when the sewer panel come in. Elena, leave me, man. Yeah, you get high too. Leave me. Leave me. Yeah. I miss you, man. Where you been in a few days? You can't get your hat on. What's going on? You can't have to give me hat on in a few days. Welcome. What's up? Good to see you, Eleanor. Eleanor, give me a hat on. I'm gonna get there. Even though she support our president, or we support our president, but me and her we can agree on to support the president. She want me to support 100%. When I refuse to support 100%, then she can get very with me. And I get problem with she still might get. She knows she might get. My real get too. It's not my real get. Hell no. Kudo have you on, mama. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I see you coming on and give me a hat. Bert Denoir, welcome. Theophilus, welcome. Oh, you laughing? They need you when you Costa hat on and that Facebook and put you in situation you get handle. You gotta be changing the knee, getting different in the knee. Yeah. And just on in front of it. Vivian, welcome. Seattle Thompson, welcome. What's up? Seattle, what's up? You see, I ran the Pittsburgh Marathon in 2019. I only ran, I was jogging there in Pittsburgh. I was jogging in that marathon. So to see me jogging, I was running. He said, yeah. I told you, leave them by Zuckerberg guy, that guy, Halin, you put your situation again. You didn't believe me. Now you see, my Zuckerberg, but he won't know, sir. My Zuckerberg, I don't know. Soon you misbehave. Soon you say something, you will say after you. Francis, welcome. Okay, let's get to the conversation here. Really quick, like I was telling you in other news. I will just give you bits and pieces from the transcript from some of the questions that were asked today to the Unity Party and the way they answer. I swear. The Unity Party better get traffic. They get traffic, oh. Look, these guys got traffic. These guys got the own case what they carry today to the Supreme Court, they fall down inside. They fall down inside. Bow way. I'm reading the transcript and I'm laughing. The men fall down inside. Oh yes. Sorry. You know what? They're gonna think you're 100% right. There's certain things I didn't do today. Yeah, there's certain things I didn't do today, and that is not cool. I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it right now, so I don't get in trouble. Yeah, I don't want to fall in trouble with you. Yeah, there are certain things I didn't do today. So let me do it really quick, guys. Let me do this really, 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 really quick. I have to. If not, I will get in trouble. But while you're doing that, be inviting other people really quick. Be invited. Hell, you know, leave me, man. Hell, you know, Flomo, leave me. Like that. I don't know Flomo that my CDC get. Me and her we in CDC together. The only thing that then sometimes we get agree, but we in CDC together. She knows I support Prezo. She know I can deal with Prezo, but I support Prezo. She knows that. She know I'm one of the only people that support Prezo that can relent to call Prezo a criminal. Nope. I'm one of the only Labrador men that can openly call President George Weah a criminal. I'm all the other people that be beating around the bush with most of them. I'm one of the only men that can call him criminal by evidence or the things that he been doing. She knows. She knows I love the president. I love it enough to call him criminal when he does things that are wrong. When he behaves like a criminal, she knows that. So I want my girl, but she trusts me. She trusts that I hold our president accountable. She also trusts that I love the president enough to call it as it is. She trusts that. So you'll be there, you'll be getting there. With me and my girl Helena. Helena, you know what's up. You know what time it is. You already know. Prezo para our Prezo. We hold Prezo accountable. And we tell the people why we call the Prezo the way we call him. We tell the people. We will let the people know why we, and we'll let the people know why we support Prezo. But let's get into the conversation here because I think it's important. Sorry, I was doing something here. Let's get into the conversation here. Henry Passaway, good afternoon. Celestine, good afternoon. Lai Fofana, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Chekanti, I hope you told my nephew and my nieces I say hi, and I hope my niece and my nephew are breaking your stuff and spoiling your things because I told them to do that. I'm a very good uncle who can encourage my nephew and my niece to do the right thing, to give you a hard time. All right, let's get into the conversation here. Today, we have a question. Will anything change in Liberia? We're speaking in current times and in past times. When you hear many Liberians that lived so many years ago, some of our parents, family members, and loved ones will tell you, you'll start giving yourself a hard time. Liberia been like that, Liberia will not change. Liberia been like that. It will not change. Liberia been like that. Liberia will not change. You know, some people tell you, oh, the ritualistic killing thing has been a long time ago, man. Doing Tobot, doing time. They used to call it Haman. So the question is, will anything change in Liberia? Because we're seeing it even today in the 21st century with technology and everything. People are getting missing. When you find them, they're either dead or they're leftless or so forth. So, they, you know, when you point out the fact that there is no light to the airport, now it's reported by daily observers and other news outlets. I know they come and say that people bringing bad news on the country, that the country is out of jet fuel. So for my woman who might think that big word jet fuel, what it really means, it simply means the gas they can put in the airplane. You finish. Simple. The gas that they can put in the airplane, it's not there. We're not gas in the country right now. So that means I don't know if planes are going to be landing in Liberia or taking that risk to land to refuel, because sometimes planes will land in a certain country, either refuel or fuel or do whatever they need to do to take off. Or if the jet fuel is not there, or they're low on it, or they don't have it, then that alone in itself is a problem. It is a problem. It's a problem that we cannot overlook. We cannot act like it doesn't exist. It exists. So amidst all of these things, you know, when we call on some of these things, when we say some of these things, we mean it. And we're not saying it to spoil the country's name. Let me say that to my brothers and my sisters who are in the CDC. We're not saying it to spoil the country's name. These are just the fact that we cannot avoid. But let's talk a little bit about one of the president's new appointment and or nomination or however you want to call it to the airport. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because it's important. One of my friends, she's been doing some extensive good research on this guy. I think they his nomination got her attention, and most of you know Masa Dopo. She commonly known as Mas Dopo on Facebook. That's how she's known as, Mas Dopo. Again, she's been doing some extensive research as of yesterday. You know, she's been going in on the conversation. She's been going on the conversation, and this new appointee from the government or from President George Weah, if and when you go on the mansion's website, on the executive mansion's website, you will see that either the proper vetting wasn't done, or now some might say he lied to the president or to the government. But then the question becomes, if he lied to the government or to the president, then did the president do due diligence as well to play his part, or the government to play their part, to double check on some of these things? Let me say this. Typical example. Maswe Kimia's wife, the foreign affairs minister, she was told to leave the United States. She was, as a diplomat, she was told to go out of the United States. They declare her persona non grata most of the times. Persona non grata, most of the time people will not talk about it. I mean, they don't care about her. She government, boom, she should go. Not only that, most recently, the US government also issued a statement that the status that she had here, they want to revoke it. So not only that they told her to leave, so if she had a green card status here or whatever, permanent resident, whatever status she had here, the State Department is revoking it. A few weeks ago, we told you that, you know, seditious, other government members, and so forth, they don't tell you these things. A lot of our brothers and our sisters in the government, when they go to the US embassy, they deny them. Let me say it to you today. They deny them. They can't come here. A lot of them, a lot of the ministers, a lot of these people working in government entities, they deny them. They just deny them left and right. And then what used to happen? Ask them. Some of you won't see your boyfriend or your godpa or your godmom for a very long time. I'm COVID yet. They deny them. Yep. I say they're denying them. And you know that they're denying them. They try to keep these things under cover and try to make it look like it's a joke. Or they don't want to talk about it. They're denying them. They are. They are. If you ask them, tell them to tell you the truth. Let them start making excuses. Tell them to tell you the truth. Let them start making excuses. They're denying them left and right. Left and right. They are denying them. They are. When we told the president to revoke that nomination, Maswe Kimia, because he had, or do some kind of investigation, he has some kind of sexual allegation on his head or so forth. Just say we hate the government. We don't like the president. We don't like this. The president and the government went ahead and pursued that. Today we see the noise. We see the problem. We do. We're seeing it all over. Foreign Affairs Minister can come to the United States to even make the case. Nathaniel McGill, Samuel Tuer, Jefferson Kojine, they have to come here to make it. What sense does that make? So why do you have the, when we say some of these things, some of you think that we hate this government or we hate the president. But the thing that, you see, these are some of the hypocritical behavior that we Liberians have that are not good. We come in public, we defend wrong, we defend people that we know that they've done wrong, but then we go behind closed door, then we murmur. Let me use that word, that Liberian word. Then we are mumbling, we're talking our throats. We know it's wrong. We are uncomfortable with it. But we can man up, we can warm up to say, no, this is wrong. Yes, it's okay to support somebody, but even your support for them when they're doing wrong, tell them they're wrong. Like this new guy, I see some people, they'll lead a guy thing of it. You have an airport. You have the Liberia Aviation Authority, literally, that is in ruin. This thing has gone international. And not just local, it's gone international. People are afraid. People are talking about it in the news, in different news outlets. People are making jokes about it. And then, instead of getting someone that meets the requisite requirement, that know what they're doing, so that they can hit the ground running to restore, you see, I need somebody that been denied. Hell, not flow. Saying you need somebody that been denied. Akara's great. Go ask him. Saying you want to know. Akara's great. Go ask him. Hey, Julie Ramo, good to see you. Go ask him. They deny him. I say, go ask him. Representative Akara's great. There are a lot of them they're denying. They don't tell you guys. They don't talk it. They don't. So let me go back. Instead of appointing somebody with the requisite experience, whether they're sedition and not sedition, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. God will not come from heaven. God will not come from heaven to change the things in the country. No. For President George Weah to succeed, let me tell you this, he would have to appoint people that know the job, outside of friendship, that know how to do the job. Let me just be honest with you. Outside of friendship and everything else, and everything else, the president would have to appoint someone or people that know the job. Wouldn't listen. Because at the end of the day, whatever happens reflects on him. Whatever goes on reflects on him. Whatever goes on reflects on him. And I know, one of my brothers here wants to dispute, or he wants to ask questions about some things. Moses Sandy, let me help you. Let me help you, brother Moses Sandy. Let me help you. This is not about me. Talking about all my qualifications, I'm not going to tell you anything about me. But let me help you with your question. I think you asked a very good question. How do I know he lied on his resume? First of all, the current candidate or the current appointee by the president to steer the state of affairs at the airport, Brother Darlington, is not a master candidate. That's not true. Whatever education he claimed to have acquired in terms of aviation is not also truth in terms of the level. He went to a trade school. in Philadelphia, which is not wrong. There is nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with it. So a trade school is not at the level of a university or at a college. It is not. It's a trade school, my brother. And this is not an opposition. You see, these are some of the things that you guys talk when people try to make sense of things. You all want to politicize it or so forth. Some of us are helping the president have these checks and counterbalances to help him down the line, to prevent, to avert, to stop some of these problems we're having that has to fall back on him. You think if the president had listened to us, you think if the president had listened to Moses saying, I'm not going to answer you again, you already made up your mind to come in public and just argue. I don't want to argue and go in cycles, but the truth about it is this guy, let me just be honest with you, the truth about it is this guy did not graduate. It's not a master's student. No, he is not a master's student. He lied. He's not a master candidate. He lied because the trade school he went to in Philadelphia, you need to go do the research, but I will just put you on track. He went to a school in Philadelphia called the Aviation Institute of Maintenance. That's where he went. The Aviation Institute of Maintenance. Now, let me just quickly read something about it. Again, credit goes to our sister, Masa Dopo, who has been doing some research on this and been investigating this entire thing and publishing or making known her views concerning this, which is critically important. And some of these things, that's what we need to do. These things help the government. It helps the president. Maybe the president didn't know. He should have done, he should have done his due diligence, So let's come there. So let's come to what he did, what the school states, They're online. You can go and check them out. They offer, different programs, but again, not at a master's level. So the program, this is some of the things they offered. The program offer aviation maintenance technician. Again, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing that he went there. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing. But that does not equate to that position. It does not equate to a master's degree or a bachelor's degree. It does not. So this could be a stepping stone. But at this point where we are, my brother and my brothers and my sisters, do you want to get someone at the airport now that does not even know what's going on? They got to start from scratch and mistakes will be made again. Then we got to, some of these positions, there are certain qualifications for them. And that's all we're pointing out. Nothing against the brother, So that is the level. That is the level. And you see, somebody said you got a long time to do research on some people. My friends, well, then y'all got a long time to be defending. Because if something happens, it falls on the president. Since y'all can't be sincere to yourselves, you guys are not even sincere to the president, claiming you love the president. You're not sincere to the president. To tell him, yes, Mr. President, we care about you, but let's find somebody else that's more qualified for this position, more experienced. What will happen when y'all say that? What will happen for some of you to, just man up. Stop sucking up. Just be a man for once. Give me 1 second here. I will have to take a quick break. 1 second. take that quick break, but let's get back into this conversation. So, what would it do if we were, what would it do if we all were to put together as Liberians and say, Mr. President, let's get the right people in here, or let's do the right thing for once, because then it will reflect a good image on the president, on the party, on the country at large. So there has been a lot of public backlash. There has been lots of, people who understand these things, they're calling out. Let me tell you something today to my brothers and sisters who are seditionists. Let me say this to you. Some of the problems and the struggles and the trouble this government is facing currently is because of the people that are appointed to these positions. Some of them don't know what they are doing. And when you don't know what you are doing on the job, let me tell you something. And that's something that you can have. It will show. No menacing in that one, no gossip in that one, no hate in that one. If you don't know it, you don't know it. It will show on the job. And some people are not just qualified for certain positions. It doesn't mean that they are not loyal to the party. It doesn't mean that the president might not like them, but maybe the president could find somewhere else to put them as opposed to the positions that they are in. And when we say some of these things, you think we hate this president or we hate the government or so forth. No, we do not. We do not. That's why I can assure you that some of the ministers, some of the government officials, even the president respect some of us who can openly disagree with him and call him out when wrong is done. They respect us more than some of you who keep sucking up. They don't take you seriously. So if we want to change this country, then we must be able to say the truth to each other. Let's say the truth to each other. Whether the president from the opposition, from the party, let the truth just be the truth. Let's start from there. At least let's start from somewhere as a nation, as a people. But everybody want to cover up their own person and make excuses. Everybody want to cover them. When the person doing wrong, to even call out the president to get rid of the person that's doing wrong, they're not doing their job. That problem. When we call them out and say we hate the president, and we hate the government, and opposition want the president to move or hate other people. This is not about people and not people. You're running a country. You're not running that friendship thing you're doing. You're running a country. You're running a country. And we keep saying these things to some of you guys. When we say the way, you're not like the government, you want to undermine the government. When we say the other way, okay, how are we supposed to say the thing now? And some of us, we say the way we know how to say it. Some of us, we don't back down. We don't, and we never suck up. I can tell you that. I don't care who's in power. Some of us can never suck up. No way. There is no way. If the president does wrong, he will be called out. He will. There's no playing about that one. And that's how it's supposed to be. And some of these people, they have become problems. When you talk like Ellen, well, you got people there, and you got the people not in power. You've been responsible for this country for 5 years. Whole day you're shifting blame is because you don't want to take responsibility. You don't want to do what is right. You don't want to take the necessary initiative. You think shifting blame will solve your problem. But then some of you seditious who come in public, this is the part that pains me. Some of you come in public and write all these funny things, but you go beyond though you are grieving. You wish they could just do it the right. The right thing. You wish they could just do it the right way. You wish they could just change things. So that's what we're saying, some of us. That's what we're saying. So my honest advice to the president, recall this guy. The man started off by lying. Whether he lied to the president or the president lied to the public or whatever it is, some gonna lie happen. Because right now, if you go to dig into it, they'll put it on him. If you go to talk to really dig into this, they'll put it on him. That's fine. whether that he lying to the president or the president lying to him. Let's just be honest and do what is right. Simple. Simple. Let's just do what is right. Recall this man. Put him to where you see fit. Again, not to this airport thing. We're saying it. We're being on record for making this open suggestion because you will say it. We can't make any suggestion. We can't do this. But again, there will be a simple that can say, hold up, your term was as hate position and opposition and this one. When you say the truth, you hate the person or you jealous. What sense does that make? You say the truth, then you hate the person or you jealous. Okay, which one that is hate now? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. How else can we say this thing? We say it the way we say it. Y'all say we hateful, we jealous, we envious. We say another way again. Y'all say we don't let the president, we don't let the government, we don't mind the government, won't get a country bad image. Okay, so what do we do now? I mean, you're putting us in a very tight spot. What do? We give you this kind of see how I'm talking to them very quiet, very low, very cool and calm. I'm envious. I'm jealous. I hate at this one, at that one. Oh, I'm a fall in line. And just accept that when something happens, they will blame the LA government, will blame the UP. Oh, okay. I see your lives. I see your lives, yeah. See your lives. See your life. See your life. See my sister Helena. See Helena life. And what you want for me to do. That's true. I'm not going to circle to you, Helena. But let's move forward today. As part of, if we should expect any change in Liberia, let's come to the opposition. There's a big question as to why Joseph Yoma Bwaga did not testify. Joseph Yoma Bwaga was brought on Monday, and they did a big show, he and Serena Seaforth, where they're taking picture and make it look ceremonious, like Joseph Yoma Bwaga coming to do something good, and he coming to he coming to save the country or change things around. I wrote on my post, listen, the scene where I am brave enough to call George Weah a criminal, that the scene where I have been brave enough to call Joseph Yoma Bwaga a smooth crook, and I take no exception to it. I will never take it back because their behaviors have aligned to these different adjectives. I don't care if you choose not to call them like that. That is your choice. But I've chosen to describe them in those different words based on a behavioral pattern. And no regret to it. I wrote on my Facebook page, on my personal page. Let me read what I wrote to you about that. And I will explain to you why. And you will see that some of you will not agree with me. You know the party boom party come and get vet. That one ain't a problem to me. I've always told you, once you start getting vexed, it's a sign to me that you're a child of God. Yep, because children of God should get vet. Nothing wrong with that. Children of God should get vet. But let me show you what I wrote. Let me read what I wrote. JMB's appearance at a court was all staged and planned. It is a distraction. Yep. And I continue, I said, Unity Party North just started. CDC and Unity Party are in an avoidance conflict. When you have time, you should type in Google avoidance conflict, what it means. You should type in it. Google will tell you exactly what that means. It will tell you. I'm not going to talk about it. Obviously, some Unity Party partisans came on there because, again, all the things what you see CDC doing, most of them, they learn it from the Unity Party. The praise and worshiping, the defending, the distracting, the lying, all these things. CDC learned it from the Unity Party. I'm telling you today, they learned it from the Unity Party for 12 years. They learned it from them. I don't want telling you. I'm not going to lie about it. They learn it from them. Most of the things you see CDC doing today, they learn it from the Unity Party. So I said it was all scam. what you saw Jose Yuma Boaka doing. It was a scam. So the question today is, why has Jose Yuma Boaka not testified? Jose Yuma Boaka, more likely so, will not testify. They know what they're doing. It's all plain. He will not testify. Jose Yuma Boaka will not testify. That's why you see them keep kicking his can down the road. They keep playing games. They keep playing games. So today, but he, Jose Yuma Boaka, knows that he will not testify. This is all a game for them. This is all a game for them. Jose Yuma Boaka. Let me tell you something. Whether you want to believe what I'm saying or not, I'm not here to change some of your beliefs in your mind already. I'm not here to change it. Let me give you a typical example. To tell you that you're in a hot mess, or those of you who support Unity Party and Jose Yuma Boaka, to tell you that you are in a mess. Let me give you a total replica. When you hear Liberian men saying, this person do this, they don't do this, we'll still vote for them. You should know that they are in a problem situation. You should know that they're stuck. They're in a problem situation. They're finding reason to not do what is right. I give you an example. And Labrampo told you, Chancellor K, the man, K, the pa, they will still vote for him. And they thought in any logical sense, in any group of minds of people who want to move forward, who want to do what is right, they thought that was the right thing to do at the time. Imagine, just think about it. You'd say to me that someone who did you wrong, someone who you know that they're not capable of doing certain things, you know that they're not in a position to do it, you say, but you will still pay that person back. With Charles Taylor. What thing happened after Charles Taylor was elected? Go back to the history. Fast forward 2017. You told us, George, we had no book. He not no book. You will vote for him. And you think that is a resolute mindset. You think when you say that, that means you are resolved. Let me tell you something. You can also be resolved in doing what is wrong or making the wrong decision. You can be resolved in doing that. I am aware of that. I know that for a fact, that you can be resolved in doing what is wrong. Even though you see what is wrong, you are still resolved in doing what is wrong. It does not mean the consequences will change. It does not mean the result from the wrong decision and choices you are making at that time will change. No, that's not what it means. That's not what it means. It just means you are resolved not to move forward, not to change anything, but to remain where you are and be inflicted. So today, because you said that, we got George Weah on our hands. And fast forward, you see what is happening. Let me give you the future. You can let me tell you Labrampo today. You can change the future. You can change the future. You can change the future. And let nobody fool you. Let nobody fool you. God not coming from heaven to change the future for you. That's not true. That is not true. There is no amount of prayer that will change Liberia. That is not true. There is no amount of fasting that will change Liberia. That is not true. We have to make decisions. You have to. You have to. The same way how you can be sitting down in your bed and fast and pray, and some kind of employer just call you from nowhere. You never apply for a job there, but they just call you from nowhere. Because in your mind, somebody have screwed you in the mind and told you say you will get favor. So you sit in a bedroom, you don't do any application, you fast and pray, you speak in tongues, and you say God will favor you sitting in the bed. Somebody who is an unbeliever, who does not know God, who does not pray, who does not fast. When that person go and do that application, they are more likely so to get higher than you who sitting there in your bed. So this is to tell you that even though you can pray, you can fast, but you must make some decisions and certain decisions. You must do that. You must do that. So let me give you the future. You are saying to the Liberian people today, Joseph Boaka, oh, he's sick. He not do this. He not do that. We'll vote for him. Go vote for him. Go vote for him. I beg you, y'all go. Y'all go vote for him. And you make decision few years ago that the person kill your mind, kill your party, you still vote for them. After a few months, guess what you did? You went to the American embassy. Our innocent people were killed. People blood wasted. The same people here be calling Maningo people might go to Guinea today. Maningo people might go to that place today. And are the same people that were fighting. The blood was wasted. Or they were not Maningo by that time. They were not Muslim by that time. No, they were not Muslim. No, they were not. They were not. Don't make decisions to change the country. Make temporary decisions to ease your feelings at that time. Make it. Make it. Make it. I hear like people say, oh, we wanted to get your way out of our system. You don't have to get your way out of the system. You don't have to react to that temporary feelings. You did not have to react to that. You don't go vote in anger. You don't go vote because you hate somebody. You don't go vote because you're afraid of change. That's not what you do. You should actually reflect on the choices and the decisions that you make, because they will impact you, they will impact the next generation, and so forth. They will. Not because you want your own account to come to government, or you want your party to come to government, or you want your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your godpa, your husband, your wife to come into government. Not because of that. Then you make temporary decisions. You make temporary decisions that have a long-term impact. You make temporary decisions. Oh, John, we are not no boy will vote for him. Fine. I voted for John. Boom. Fast forward today after 5 years, where we are. And you are still contemplating on making the same decision, just with a different person. The same cycle, just with a different person. And you say God might change Liberia? And you say God will sometimes change Liberia? What's you think God ain't got work to do? We have brains to make decisions. We do. It's like you go to the store to go buy something. It says on it, expire tomorrow. You see it, they say, oh, they say expire tomorrow, but God there. God will help us. And we are resolved to just buying it. Fine. Be resolved. I see some of you shamelessly who were the same people that pushed this church we are agenda because you didn't get what you wanted. Today, you're the same people coming to tell us that JMB is good. Okay. And you got some people following you too. Okay. All right. Nothing's wrong with that. If that's the decision you want to make, nothing's wrong with that. But we are telling you, like we told you in 2017, that if you make this decision, there are consequences. Let me tell you something. Any decision, any choice you make in life, there are consequences to it. There are. I'm telling you today, there are. And some of you will come back and tell later, there are consequences. There are. We always look for reasons to not do the right thing or to not put the right people in the right places. We either defend, deflect, divert, or make some kind of excuses. Okay. All right. You all know the truth. We can decide that democracy. Some of you will come back and regret your choices. You'll come back. If you made a decision with George Weah, you didn't get it right. You really think you coming back again to come try to persuade people to make decisions. You really think you really think that you are there to make that decision. But again, that's where we find ourselves. That's where we are. So yes, JMB will not testify. JMB will not testify. So my people, this is all distraction. Let me tell you something. This is all distraction, my people. This is all distraction. This is all distraction. I'm hoping and praying that JMB testifies. We have been waiting for this moment for JMB to testify, for Yomli Kanga Lawrence to testify. Let them be on record. Let them be on record. There's nothing wrong. Well, if you claim that somebody did something wrong, then go there and clarify it. Go there. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Go there and testify. Why you going in cycles? Why you keep dodging it? You come and talk. If I were them, you wouldn't even have to subpoena me. I would be willing to come and testify openly to what I know. Let's be on record. Because the truth is the truth. Whether you take it to Japan or the truth, whether you come to Africa or the truth, that is just the truth. So why not come and talk about it? Come and talk about it, be on record, so that you can be asked. But oh no, this is all games. But like I said earlier, let me read you from the transcript, and I challenge anyone to say these things were not discussed in the meeting today, when they went over there today. Hold on one second. Let me go to it. We got a copy of the transcript. We got a copy of the transcript here. What happened to the Supreme Court today? Let me read you. They got it. They got us anywhere with it. So let me read this part. I want you to see if it makes sense. So here's one of the questions to Unity Party. What? This was the question that was asked today in the Supreme Court in the hearing. What and who validated the so-called investigative report anchored on the CPP framework document? Councillor Small answered. This is what Councillor Small said. The report was sent to the lawyers. Then the court asked him again, what did the lawyers say? Listen, they did not say anything. They did not say anything substantial. So then they asked them again. So then, how did you conclude that the framework document was altered? Listen to the response. Hold on, let me go to the response here. This is very interesting. So Councillor Momo, this is what Councillor Momo said. Mo Ali and others conducted an investigation, and the investigation found it that the framework document was altered. Seriously. So when Benin Ayure made the accusation, Unity Party claimed that they were not part of the accusation. There's videos to show it. Fast forward, based on the accusation, Unity Party is now saying that the investigative report that they had, quote unquote, proof that there was alteration done to the framework document. And this, interesting, guys. Very interesting. Well, we'll hear what the Supreme Court has to say. But let's move forward a little bit. Hold on, I'm trying. So United Party went in. They contradicted themselves because this was the case they were making. Hold on. Let me be careful because I don't want to reveal certain things here. So I have to be careful how I read it. I have to be very careful. So United Party pushed Okay. They were pushing while they were at, instead of focusing on a clause, the exit clause for which they were there, they were pushing that the framework document is altered. But here is one of the arguments that they push. They were pushing that, listen to what United Party, listen to the argument we're making. UP is saying that a restriction in the CPP's framework document did not provide. First of all, that means they're agreeing that there was restriction or that there was this clause. They're agreeing. UP is saying that a restriction in the framework document did not provide for by-election. Listen, but presidential and legislative election. Therefore, UP cannot be stopped from feeding candidates in a by-election. But here's the big question. Is the by-election that they're going to have in Lofa not a legislative one? Who they're going to elect in a by-election? And I want one member of the legislature, the upper house, the Senate. So does that make any sense to anybody? Well, we'll see how it rules tomorrow, how the Supreme Court rules tomorrow. We'll see how the Supreme. Let me tell you something. Spin the lie all you want. Go in the public and try to make sense of your lies. There was an interview done on OKFM not too long ago. I want you to listen to this. I captured a part of it. Unfortunately, we couldn't download. There was an interview done. Hold on. I want you to listen to this. I'm trying to correct this, get this part. Okay, listen to this, guys, please.
This is a bogus trial. You know, we're seeing this before. Madam Salif went to jail in this country on a bogus charge. It didn't, pin her down. She left continual advocacy and she became president of this country. There are many that have gone to jail using the judiciary sometimes on bogus trial. I mean, this is clearly a bogus trial. There's nothing being changed. In fact, I can say that authoritatively because I happened to chair that committee that took the last look at, before the lawyers did, at the framework agreement. So, you see, the parties got together first and started to draft this. And we were doing this all on our own. When the political leaders came in, they decided to form another committee, and I became the chair of that committee that drafted this. I recall so vividly, through my email, the attachment that I made to send to the political leaders after we adopted that night. And when I look back on the email, it is the identical same document that was sent to the National Elections Commission. It is the identical same document that went to the lawyers, came back because when they went to the lawyers, I was seconded to be on that committee with the lawyers just for the purpose of providing context. So nothing was changed. When you try to impugn and slander a man like Cummings because of political gain, it's so pathetic. I hear folks talk about, what happened to the June 10th date and the June 14th notarization. It's very easy to explain. It happened all the time. It's very easy to explain. I mean, if you permit me, Julius, I can explain some of that. You see, when the CPP honored the chairmanship of Alice Cummings, he was a political leader at the time. What people don't understand is that we didn't want anybody equipping the political leaders and the stand-up bearers of the party to a normal party chairman. So they were actually the political leaders at the time for the CPP. And the chairperson of the party, who leader was a political leader, became the chairman of the National Executive Committee and therefore the chairman of the party. So when Ellis Cumming was the political leader of the National Advisory Council, Nathan was the chairman of the CPP, and Aloysius Stowe was the Secretary General of the.
But and that is how it was understood.
Well, there are folks who are running with it all on Facebook and elsewhere that, Nathan signed as chairman of the CPP and Ellis Cumming was supposed to sign. So it amounts to fraud. Can you imagine the gullibility of folks? And the second thing is, when Aloysius told the secretariat, he was just the head of secretariat. When they submitted, and the secretariat comprised of Secretary General from all of the other constituent parties, when they submitted our document to the National Elections Commission for the purpose of registration and subsequent nomination of our candidates, our aspirants for the senatorial elections, it went on the 10th. It went to the chairperson of NEC. That is the protocol. She received it, and within 2, 3, 4 days, it got to the appropriate section in NEC, the political section, to review the documents and get back to us. That is what the technicians are there for. When they examined the papers, they found out that there needed to be notarization on the backs of the paper. It happens all the time.
And that
They call back, I'm coming to this, this is important for the public. They call back and say that, look, your paper's here. That is consistent with one of the Supreme Court rulings. Your paper is here, and we know your intent is to feed candidates in the senatorial elections. You have to come and cure the defect. So Aloysius to pick it up. He could have gone back to any notary public in Liberia, you know that, and say, look, I beg you, please give me the 9th date. But they were being so earnest. They said, notarize this, and we'll take it back. And they notarized it and just took it back. That happened within, I think, 16 or 20 minutes thereabout, and took it back to NEC, and then continued the processing. They didn't submit a new cover letter. So the letter shows they received on the 10th, and the notary public that was done subsequently after it was discovered by NEC was done on the 14th.
But you
What is wrong with that?
But you admit that it is not best practice. Best practice is you are supposed to notarize it before carrying it to the Elections Commission.
Yeah, but listen to me. Because human error will always be there, the Supreme Court, I think it's a case with ACOP or UPP versus NEC, when they were trying to proffer the candidate and NEC had a deadline that was moving and did not notify the party until the deadline reached. The Supreme Court said no. You know, the court has to be cognizant of the public good. So the court said no. When you have time on your clock for a particular process that you want to go in, and there is a defect with the documents submitted by any individual or the party, notify them within the time frame so that they can cure the defect. It is under that spirit that NEC did that. And this is human error. Many of the aspirants, when they go to NEC for registration, ask any of them who is a lawmaker or a participator trying to be a lawmaker. Sometimes there are issues. They'll run back with the paperwork and they'll go do it. Notarize this one and do this one.
Sometimes they need tax levies.
Yes, then they'll run back for it. Or this, the bank slip was not there. All those small things. So they will do that. So inadvertently, they didn't notarize one of the, I think, the forms. And when the guy called from NEC, he said, you come and cure the defect because you still have time to do this, and next week register your candidates. That is the spirit of NEC on our arrangement.
So it was like close to the time, drawing closer to. No, but that was still a little far from the 2020 election.
No. It was not a little far in terms of registering the alliance before.
Oh, okay, yes, okay. You actually needed to register the CPP.
Correct.
As an alliance under the
Election
Commission.
6 months rule. Yeah.
Okay.
So you had to register the allowance and the alliance. Everyone knew that the political parties that were collaborating wanted to fill single slate of candidates. So once the paper was found to be defective, the next only thing they did was to notify us and say, solve this problem. You still have some time. If you fail to do it, it would have, you know what it would have resulted to had the net allowed the
Well, if you have time, you can go on to OKFM and you will listen to the entire ordeal there. The video is there. I think it happened sometimes not too long ago, just before we come on. Sometimes it's okay to listen to certain people, but it's also okay not to just run with these emotional things. Try to gather the facts before you take a side or you take a position or make a judgment on certain things. Especially when you have people with tinted characters and records running in a public sphere and making noise about things. I'm very careful. Anytime I see certain group of people running with certain information, I know something is not right. I don't run to say it's not right. I wait to get the other side of the story, get the facts before I say something about it. So when I see certain characters, just certain characters, I know that it's fishy because their idea is to run in the public, give public sentiments, lie about things, and later on come and say to you, this is all politics, or this was all politics. That's exactly what, I was reading a friend of mine's post, Lofa Julius, and he alluded to that, and it just brought my attention to some of the things that we will see very, very, very soon. Very soon, just watch. They will come back and say that were all politics. They will come back. They will lie to you in your faces, and they tell you it was all politics. At what time do we say it was not politics now? Do we take it for real? At what time? Because for this same lie business, people were killed. People lying on people in Liberia is historical. That people were killed for that. Falsely accusing people. People were killed. People are hurt because of those things. But for them, it's politically expedient for them to just lie. The same thing with Donald Trump. When he was president, he just lie about things. Today, he got himself in trouble. He heard after his presidency, investigation after investigation, some things that you call a governor and say, oh, you're looking for this other number. And he's on record of saying that. I want to not make up story. So you see, when we try to say some of these things, we're not saying it because we hate a certain group of people. We're saying it because we have to look at the fact. Trying to rush to a pew. Listen, crying out loud from the beginning does not mean that you're right. It doesn't mean you're saying the right thing. Yesterday, these guys, I knew strict. It was troubling when I saw certain people running with this information. The people hadn't even come from the court yet. People posting, and this is what I was reading the court or whatever it is. Because you know what? People have fed them something and say, go and post it. Because they claim that, you can get big mouth and big head and be talking loud. It does not mean that you're making any sense. It does not mean you have any credibility. That's not what it means. That is not what it means. And so until we can start getting to these points, when we start fact-checking some of these people, and start fact-checking some of the information they pull out there in the public, we have a problem on our hands. We have a problem on our hands. As a nation, we do. And we must take this thing very seriously, my people. Very seriously. We cannot afford to pass around and screw around because this is destroying the country. This is creating problems for the country. Because certain people will come in public and with no remorse. They've lied to you before. They've known to be with shady characters. I think some of you saw the interview today. When Mo Ali came on the Supreme Court when they asked him to say something. Mo Ali will get shot about today. And my lawyer said I can't talk. My lawyer said I can't talk. I just look at my lawyer, I just laugh. But this is where we are. More likely, so JMB will not testify. This is all tricks. This is all games. I would wish that he would testify, and let's get a transcript of what he said. The man will be present. Let him be put on it. Let him be put on the witness stand. I think he must be put on the witness stand. I think the Liberian people deserve that. Let them hear from him. Let him be on record. Let Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence, let her come on record. She's one of the witnesses that Sereno Sifo said he would bring. Let her be subpoenaed. Let her come and testify to that. I really wish he would do that. I hope and pray that it happens. I do, in all honesty. In all honesty. Because if you're part of something, if you decide to do certain things, you should also know that you should be willing to go to the end of it. So let them come and talk what they know. Let it be on record, and let them be on record individually for saying these things. And let them be cross-examined. Let them be cross-examined. There are a lot of things that are going on, folks. And until those of you who want better for Liberia, who are quote-unquote good people, until you can come out and get out of this fear and speak out, I can tell you, things will not change. You don't have to defend anybody. Don't defend anybody. Speak to the facts. Speak to the truth. That's it. Because obviously, there's nothing going on here because these guys keep changing the goalposts. The original case was signature was forged. Now, they're flipping it again. The NEC provided photocopy black and white. Now, they're flipping it to this other person sign as the other thing. Go look at it. Listen, I just tired going over the one thing over and over. Go look at the CPP framework document, how it's structured as to who becomes the CPP chairperson and who can sign as the CPP chairperson and who can sign. So that's how it's structured. That's how they structure their documents. So in essence, Yombli Kanga could be the for example, she could be the chairperson. She could be termed, that name could be on her, the chairperson. But according to them, when you go to sign the documents, the chairperson for the party, according to them, they got listen, I think I have it here. I don't want to waste my time on this whole CPP thing, but sometimes it's good for, the public education and information for us to provide some of these things, to provide clarity, because if we don't do, then we'll be doing disservice to our people, we'll be doing disservice to our people, and it's not the right thing to do. Listen, it is not the right thing to do. It is not just the right thing to do. And we can't do these things and say it's in the name of politics. We can't do that. You can't hurt people willingly and say what's in the name of politics. You know the truth. You know. But you hurt people and then you come back and say, oh, it was all politics. At what point do we say this was not politics now? Oh, it was not personal, it was all politics. But you're ruining someone's life. You're ruining other people's life. You're wasting taxpayers' money. You're wasting time. All of these shenanigans going on in the country. We have a lot of things going on. We should be focusing on. We should be focusing on. And you got, but like I said on my post, Unity Party launch just started. I will always remind you, a few weeks ago I posted that there will be an international noise behind CDC. I posted, go check on my Moses, scroll down, you will see. Go scroll down, you see. You will see that I told you. CDC, I don't want to talk about it because, to be honest, they're doomed. They rope the guy around the neck. There is no way they're coming from out of that rope. There is no way. The rope they've tied around the neck, there is no way. Nothing taking them out of it. So they by their zero balance, they're not important. They're not important. CDC is not important. That thing what you see them doing, you don't see nothing here. The noise are coming. And the party that uno knows will fall right in election time. They're already in a mess. CDC is already a mess. But I'm talking about what is the Unity Party or so forth. Yes, Chenen 2, I agree with you. Chenen 2, I agree with you that we should be calling for justice for children. But a grown up who's supposed to make justice for the children, when they're not even doing what is right to make justice for the children, you tell me, you think they're concerned about these children, these babies? They're not. They use these babies as sacrifice and other things so that they can stay in power, so that they can gain power. That's all they do. So we have some serious problems on our hands, ladies and gentlemen, some serious problems. This is no joke. As sad as it sounds, somebody might say, oh, you're like giving bad news for the country. That's your business. That's your business. You want to say we're giving bad news? No problem. You want to say me, I'm giving bad news? No problem. But that's exactly what's going on in the country. The country is fearful. People are missing. I listened to some kind of disturbing video with a girl crying and pleading, you know, crying and pleading, you know. She was crying and pleading. All these guys, they just and like I said earlier, you know, and we'll refer to that statement. I read that Lofa Julius post. It just keeps ringing in my mind. They will come back and say it was all politics. That's what they'll come back and say. They will come back and say that. They will very soon. Because they just keep moving in cycles. They just keep moving in cycles. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. It's very sad and frustrating. You know, let me close up with this because unfortunately will not be able to open the line. I'll close up with this and give the announcements. But I'll close up with this. Think about this. When I hear people say, oh, Randall Thomas, my man, long time, where you been? Good to see you, my man. Good to see you on. Happy new month to you. And again, to all of the mothers, to all of the ladies, women, the female, I want to say happy Mother's Day or happy pre-Mother's Day or happy Mother's Day to you. Thanks for all you do. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. That's all we can say to you. Thank you. I'm hearing some twisted conversations people are having. And I'll give you the example with Joseph Boakai and Kumis, right? Here's a twisted conversation I'm having. I'm hearing some Joseph Boakai supporters saying, oh, Kumi too desperate. Listen to that. To tell you that common sense is not working. When common sense is not working, you think you can just say foolishness and it holds. Listen to this. Oh, common sense is desperate. He won't be president. I just said, I got people that talking about, oh, he's too desperate. He won't be president. He'll be president by force. He's too desperate. Okay, so let's see who's desperate. Let's see who's desperate. Let's weigh this desperation here. Let's see who's desperate. Let's just put it in context really quick for the next 1 or 2 minutes. We'll give the announcement. We'll be out of here. A man who's worked maybe 40 years of his life in politics. Well, they say 25. So let's stick with there. Let's stick with what they wanted to be, keeping all factors constant. JMP's worked 25 years in government. That includes working with almost all of the corrupt governments. Okay. With nothing to show for. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing to show for. Just nothing. I mean, in terms of anything sustainable or anything to better anybody. 25 years. Almost 80-year-old man. An ill man. He's not well. He's not well. That is a known fact. I don't care if anybody wants to say anything, it's a fact. Nobody wishes bad on anybody, but these are facts. We must point them out. As opposed to someone who has never worked in government before, who has a track record of being effective, deliver, and the records are there from where he's worked, that he's implemented things that has benefited the world at large. Think about who's desperate. So you see how they are projecting the feelings of desperation on other people? You just came from being vice president for 12 years. Who in this particular thing, look at it, my people. Not only the word desperate, that's too much of a similar word. Who greedy here? Who greedy? Who really, really greedy? Who really greedy? So you see, these guys are projecting the feelings of other people. Now, when they don't have their way, they revert into violence and threats. Very interesting. Very interesting. I will not use the word desperation going forward. You'll use the word greedy. Who really, really greedy here? Let me say this. For some of you who are not here, I'll say it again. If you do the same thing that you've been doing, and you think that bro will change. 1997, you told us, Charles Taylor, kill your mind, kill your party, you vote for him. I told you, no logical person in a sound mind. That's to tell you that you are not okay in the head when you make that decision. You are not okay. I'm saying it to you. I am saying it to you. That anyone who makes a decision like that, tell you, say the person kill my man, they kill my pa, but I will still empower them. That person is not okay. I'm saying it. Take it any way you want to take it. But these are facts. You are not making a conscious decision. That's not how people make decisions consciously. Somebody will say, well, Stockton syndrome or whatever it is, that's fine. Fast forward. You say 1997, a long time ago, it now passed a couple of years ago, almost 20 years. Good. Most recently, let's see, it's not coincidental. 20 years after, Liberian people came back again to revert a different slogan. You know what they reverted to? You not know Bo will vote for you. They voted for George Weah. And you see what we got today? Think about it. They told you, say, go vote for people who know how to do the job. People who got the experience. You think they got the experience by saying that to the whole and not knowing Bo? You think they got the experience by that? You say you know Bo, you not know Bo will vote for you. Today, we end up with George Weah. And we end up with George Weah. And you see no Bo, not no Bo, what you doing for us? And you see, you came a man, you came a power, what you did for us? We are about to go to another elections. You are hearing people saying again, people who are not okay in their head, saying, I say it. They see how we're not okay in the head 1997, we're not okay in the head 2007. That's why we made a decision we made. That's what we are. Today, the country has retrogressed. We are here today, we sort of make decisions again, a year from now. These same people who are now okay in the head are coming back to us and telling us that the man is sick. The man has no track record of proving to be effective in anything he has done. Everything he has led has died. They're telling us the man is old. Now they are resolved to vote for him. They are resolved for problem to get the country back. They are resolved to keep this country stagnant. But I'm saying to you, some of you silent voters who are okay in the head, it's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to stop being on the touchline, stop being silent. Let's rise up to the occasion. I'm not here to tell you to go vote for Cummings, go vote for Tiawan, go vote for this. But I'm here to encourage you to speak out who you will not vote for and why you will not vote for them. I'm here to, listen, eliminate choices now. I know for sure if election were here today, I would not support Buaka, I would not support George Weah. I know that for a fact. I'm not going to be in a hurry to go make that decision. I'm not going to be in a hurry to go make it. I'm in the process of elimination. There are certain people that are excluded from this choice. I know for a fact I will not support both of them. I'm going to go pray. The Lord ain't got to go speak to me. What the Lord speaking to me about that one for that common sense? That common sense issue. These are common sense, rational, mature decisions that you make for the future. But you are sitting here. You got good people. Okay, let's say you don't want to vote for, say what you want to say, you don't want to vote for Cummings. What happened to Tiawan Gonglo? What happened? So you see what's factoring in here. Almost all of these people who are talking, Tiawan Gonglo has stood for them too. They call him poor man lawyer. This is to tell you that this country can change if we stand up and do what is right. And we can do it. All of us can do it. The same way how they can push negativity and lies in your head and you can think it is true. We can also push the fact. We can also talk about the fact in public. We can also discuss the fact in public. If they want to brand you as you supporting the other camp, or you the other person man, or you the other person picking, or you eat money from the other person, that is fine. Let them project those feelings. But the fact remains the fact. And the facts here, the facts are, they don't want us to move forward. They want to keep you in that little cycle. Because something is not wrong with them. Something is not right up here in the head. Nobody makes that kind of decision. Nobody makes that kind of decision. And if we are to make the right decision, then let's stick with the right choices that we have now and start deciding between the choices that we have that are right. It's time for us to shift the paradigm and start picking the right people and start settling down for, but the opposition ain't making power, so we're just still with George Weah. No, that is a flimsy excuse. You have options. You do. You do have options. You do have options. And you know what is right. You know. You know what is right. We're getting older. You know what is right. You know. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. But I'm here to tell you who must not be voted for. Let's go through the process of elimination. George Weah, Joseph Yuma Buaka, they're no good for Liberia. They're no good for Liberia. The process of elimination must start now. Then we can look at the options we have in front of us and make the decisive decision. Let the process of elimination start now. Since you don't want to make decision who to support, that's fine. Let's make decision who will not support. Then life the how it's supposed to be. Okay, say you not decide what you like yet. Then let's look at what you don't like. You see it? Don't forget about what you want yet, because maybe you haven't figured out what you want. What don't you want? That's what you need to start thinking about. Have a good day. Tomorrow we'll be on for mental health and wellness in the afternoon. Sunday we have Tiawan Gonglo. We'll be here. Have a very, very good day. Tomorrow evening we'll be on for mental health and wellness. We're finishing the last part. So please come on, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Let's come on. Let's come on. Tomorrow evening, let's share the show. Sunday, we have Tiawan Gonglo here so that we have this conversation. Again, I'm saying to you today, please get in the process of elimination. I know you don't know what you want yet, or you don't know who you want to vote for, that's fine. You don't know who you want to support, that's fine. Maybe you're still confused as to who to support, that's fine. But can you sit down now and start thinking about who you will not vote for and who you will not support? And why? And while you're doing that, don't allow sympathy to exceed your interests. Don't give your vote to anybody based on sympathy. While you are sympathizing with them, they are abusing you. Have a good day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye for now.
Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me.
Bombe oh, find a friend like me. Bombe Jenny.